Boxing Truth here. Been wanting to do the story for a while now. And it's about Canelo Alvarez's court case with his former promoter, All Star Boxing. Now, this is a story that's been very underreported by the boxing media, for whatever reason. But it's a very long, ongoing case. It's been in the media on and off for years. It's always been out there. And I was actually going to do this story about a while ago, maybe a couple of months ago. Just never got around to it. Besides, I needed some more information. But I thought I'd talk about it, since it is an interesting case. It's head scratching why it's taking so long. But it's a very delicate situation and potentially could be a very harmful blow to Golden Boy Promotions and Oscar De La Hoya. So, right now, Canelo Alvarez is in litigation with his old promoter, All Star Boxing. Him and Golden Boy, his current promoter, have been in litigation with All Star Boxing since January of 2011. That's when All Star Boxing first filed a lawsuit against both Golden Boy and Canelo Alvarez for what they allege is a breach of contract that Golden Boy and De La Hoya swayed Canelo from All Star Boxing, who was still under contract to them according to the lawsuit that All Star filed. So, a little backstory: Canelo, when he was first coming up, he was signed to All Star Boxing. He signed with them back in September of 2008. He had 9 fights under that promotional banner. And then by 2010, he was pretty much exclusively with Golden Boy. Now, All Star Boxing claims that De La Hoya, Golden Boy, they convinced Canelo to just sign a separate multi-year contract with Golden Boy, despite he already had allegedly an existing contract with All Star Boxing that still had years on it to be completed. And All Star Boxing had already invested a lot of money into Canelo by the time Golden Boy was allegedly stealing him away from All Star Boxing. So they filed a lawsuit like over 5 years ago, and according to this old story from boxing scene, because it's been underreported, it hasn't been talked about in like a couple of months, but according to an article on Boxing Scene, the reason why it was been delayed for the past 5 years is because Canelo and his legal team and Golden Boy, they would always say that they were too busy to go to court. They had fights. He would because he was very active. Canelo fighting 2, 3, 4 times a year and needed downtime to recover. So the court kept accommodating Canelo's request to delay the trial, delay the case, because of his activity in the ring and the downtime he needed between training camps. So every time All Star Boxing thought they would get a court date to finally get this case settled, it would always get postponed. But now, it was reported earlier this year by Boxing Scene that finally All Star Boxing is going to have his day in court with Golden Boy, Oscar, and Canelo Alvarez. And right now, according to industry whispers, All Star Boxing's got a legit shot to win the case. And not only is All Star Boxing trying to get Canelo back, but they want Golden Boy completely out of the picture. They would rather sit Canelo Alvarez on the shelf than to give any type of stake, share any type of stake of Canelo's future fights with Golden Boy. They want it completely out of the picture. They don't want to settle. Golden Boy actually offered them over 7 figures to settle this case. In All Star Boxing, they turned it down, which says something that they feel they got a very strong case. And I'm not sure if the court date is still the same. They said it was gonna be in May. Perhaps it changed. Maybe it's earlier. But Golden Boy and Canelo, they're trying to delay the case for as long as they can, because that also says something that perhaps All Star Boxing is on the verge of winning this case and the court ruling in their favor. Now, usually it would probably be, because there's a similar situation to this type of case, and it involves Manny Pacquiao's situation. He was in a similar type of situation. He first signed a multi-year contract with Top Rank, and then for whatever reason, still unknown to this day, he signed a separate multi-year agreement with Golden Boy. It caused a nasty lawsuit, and eventually they settled, where Top Rank got the majority of the stake, but they had to give a percentage to Golden Boy for a number of Pacquiao's future fights, which lasted for quite some time. So perhaps if the court rules in All Star Boxing's favor, they will have that type of mediation, that type of agreement, that type of settlement where Golden Boy would give stake to All Star Boxing for Canelo's future fights. But All Star Boxing is very confident that they can win the case outright, get the contract Alvarez has with Golden Boy and HBO voided and nulled. And according to some reports and people whispering in the industry, that it's a damn good shot they could win this case. And it would really suck be a big blow to Golden Boy if they was to lose Canelo outright. That's their cash cow, their golden goose. The goose that lays the golden eggs. So I figured I'd talk about this story because it's very underreported. It's always been out there. It's been ongoing. It's been delayed like crazy. And now it's getting closer to its conclusion. And it's looking like very possible that All Star Boxing is going to win this case. But you would just hope that, this doesn't affect Canelo's career, that he won't have to sit on the shelf, that, he won't be in some really bad, litigation process that would, really affect his career and affect his activity. But damn, this is crazy that, potentially Oscar and Golden Boy could lose Canelo Alvarez. But we'll see what happens. The court session will be interesting, as All Star Boxing is gonna, they're gonna pretty much go all out trying to win this case outright. They're gonna be calling even people, other promoters to come testify. It just seems like they got a really strong case. But we'll see what happens with this story, as it's finally gonna come to its long-awaited conclusion. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.